Veteran news host Greta Van Susteren is coming to the CW26 this fall in a new weekly political show, Full Court Press with Greta Van Susteren. The show is going to focus on the impact of politics and policy, of course, on local communities and plenty more than that. And we're excited to have Greta here this morning. Greta, thanks for stopping by.
You know, I'm very excited to be here, and I want to thank WCIU. This is, I think, the first station that picked me up, or one of the first. So thank you, WCIU. I'm here to show my gratitude.
Amen to that. All right, what do you expect from this show moving forward?
Look, Sunday morning shows are typically about what's going on in Washington the last week. It's the New York to D.C. corridor, as we call it, the Acela corridor, because the train that runs between. I'm hoping to take advantage of gray media. Gray media has 143 TV stations across the country, Alaska, Hawaii, and everything east of that. And in 93 markets. And what I'm hoping to do is take advantage of those stations to find out what's going on in the communities. What are the universal problems? Take one, like take something like student loans. I don't care where you live. That really impacts you. Even if you don't have a student loan, you may want to rent to somebody who has student loan debt and can't get a credit, can't get past a credit investigation. So I want to take those. I want to hear what people have to say. It's enough of what's going on in Washington. What are your problems out there? Let's find out what they are. And let's see what the choices are.
That's interesting, because in Washington, it's sometimes referred to as flyover states, but you want to land in each of those things and figure out what people are talking about.
Well, I never consider flyover. I'm from Wisconsin.
Yeah, right.
I'm a Midwesterner. But you're right. They refer to it as flyover. But if when Paul Ryan was chosen by Romney to be his running mate, almost everybody in D.C. and sort of the corridor of New York called it bold, a bold choice. And I thought to myself, why are they all using the same word, bold? What are the odds on that? And the reason is because they were listening to each other. They're not getting out. And local reporters live in the community. And now I've got 143 bureaus. When I was at cable, I had maybe 6. Now I have 143. The gray media is so huge. So I want to find out what's going on in the communities. I want to know what the problems are. I want to see if we can identify them. And I want to see what our options are. There aren't any perfect solutions for a lot of these, but at least let's listen to the problems. Let's find out what they are and see if we can come up with something.
I got a question for you, because I worked in Washington for 1 year, which was a really short stint for a lot of folks out there.
And then you got paroled.
And then, yes, exactly. I got out of there quickly. But I got to ask, I would go to some of the bars near the Capitol, and there you'd see...
I've been to some few of those myself.
Exactly. You'd see former Speaker John Boehner and Steny Hoyer talking, having a beer. Are politicians doing us a disservice by riling each other up, and then they're able to have peace, and then the rest of us don't? Yes,
but I'm not so sure that we're blameless, because we go up to the politicians and say, hey, so-and-so says you're a jerk. Are you a jerk? Or something like that. I say, no, I'm not a jerk. Or something. We in some ways, are part of the questions we ask of the media, but a lot of them are good friends. If you take a plane from, I take a flight from D.C. to Chicago, you'll see people from different sides of the aisle on the plane talking to each other. So it's much more civilized. But once they get on the floor of the Congress or the Senate, it's like this, and I don't think the media necessarily is helping it when they're pitting one against the other.
Absolutely.
And not looking at problems, but looking at the fights.
Exactly. All right, we're just getting started here with Greta. We've got a fun game after the break. You ready to play a little?
I'm looking forward to the game. Look, I'm opposed to taking likes off Instagram. I'm opposed to that. I mean,
you want those likes.
I thought you did a great job in the weather. I'm impressed with that. So I got a lot of thoughts. So I'm ready to go.
Well, that's great. All right, we're going to talk more about the show. We're going to get into your personal politics. It's going to be fun. We got Carly and Felicia now here. We're going to play a game here. Are you ready to play? We're playing left or right.
Should I be nervous? I noticed the 3 of you are over there. That was my first suspicion. Why are they separate from me?
It's a fear factor sort of game.
I thought we were playing Twister, too. That's what I promised. That's why I came.
Right. So we're going to reveal a little bit about your personal politics. We're going to learn here. We're going to give you 2 choices. You choose left or right. We'll play the game, of course. Carly's going to start us off.
All right, so we're going to kick it off. We know that you're a pet parent. You have several pets.
Yes,
and so
we're
going to make you do the difficult thing, and you're going to have to choose between your pets.
Okay, all right.
So your choices are Bill on the left, Jake on the right. But before you answer, we've got to show our audience a little video so they can get a taste of their personality.
Jake is my Sunday pet, but anyway.
Okay. All right, can we play the video?
Bill. Hey, Bill. I don't mean to disturb you, buddy. Do you want to wake up and go do something? Where are you? Jake, I haven't even touched you. Oh, come on, Jake.
Oh my gosh.
All right, you got to choose now.
All right, so which is it?
Why does he do that?
Well, that's Jake. He's owned by Mrs. McCain, who's 107 and a half. John McCain's mother. I've been visiting her every Sunday for about 15 years.
Oh my
Her
goodness.
cat hates me. And I've tried to get Jake to love me. As for Bill, Bill hit the catnip on that one. Bill's got a problem. We need a 28-day catnip program for poor Bill. But Jake, I love Jake, and Jake hates me. He does that to me every Sunday.
So who you got to pick? You got to
So you're
choose
choosing
one.
the left or the right?
Oh, I love Bill. I love Bill, but I do love Jake. He's playing hard to get. You know, Jake's playing. He's hard to get.
Okay,
All
so
right.
today you're moderate.
Right, you're moderate. You're in between.
I love them all.
Okay, we'll go with the love them all.
It'd be easier for my brother and sister up
Right.
there than it is for them. I'm just kidding.
Just like a true pet parent. All right. So besides your love for animals, we know you like to travel. You've done a lot of different things. So we're asking, which of these 2 jobs would you rather take on if you weren't doing television? Okay. So we got veterinarian on the left, pilot on the right.
I wanted to be a veterinarian, but I barely got past high school chemistry, which is why I went into law. I would still kill to be a veterinarian. I love.
Oh, she's
there
going
you
for the
go.
left.
She went left there.
Yeah, I would like to do that even now.
Right.
Nice.
Aw. You can always do it. All right, last one. This is my turn. Greta, left or right? Which Greta did it best? Okay, so when SNL is parodying you, it's always that knows you made it. So let's take a look at the clip here.
Now let's revisit New York's 23rd congressional district, where Sarah Palin and Rush Limbaugh backed the conservative candidate Doug Hoffman as he courageously stood up to the GOP and their candidate Didi Scuscacababa.
All right, tonight Donald Trump has doubled down on his proposal to ban all Muslims from entering America, and some have criticized the other GOP candidates.
Okay, so just a little snippet there. So left or right?
I was so flattered. Loved them both. But Kristen Wiig was. I invited her to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. I wanted her to come as me, so I didn't have to go. But she turned me down. She was shooting something or something. But I was so flattered. You know, they actually didn't lay a glove on me. I mean, they can rip your skin off. But I was so flattered by both of them.
So you're not going to pick one?
I'll take either.
Okay.
I mean, I wish they would do it again. You know, it's like,
This isn't how voting goes.
I know. It's like I'm terrible.
Right,
But you gave me
exactly.
choice of people. You know, it's like. Ooh.
Right, exactly. Before we wrap up, you're a huge philanthropist too, and have done so many great things for communities around the area.
Well, you know, it's like I always say, I think everybody would like to do this if you have the time and the resource, because it's really fun. I mean, you know, I think it's a luxury, and I think people like to do it, and people help out so many people in the communities that I tip my hat to them. You know, it's like, you know, it's a tough world out there, and you know, it's whether it's just even helping someone carry groceries or in this horrible heat here in Chicago. It's a little toasty, by the way.
Yeah,
a little toasty.
exactly.
You know, when I grew up, it's like the Windy City. We didn't go to Chicago because we didn't want to freeze to death. But
Be a good neighbor.
Yeah. Be a good neighbor. Yes.
Amen to that.
Thank you. By the way, you guys
Thank
are
you.
great.
This
You guys
is so
are
much
great.
fun. All right, so watch Full Court Press with Greta Van Susteren Sunday mornings at 11:30, premiering on September 8th on Chicago's new home for the CW CW26.